from a Ryzen 5 2600X to a Ryzen 9 5900 XT. I'll see if 16 cores and 32 threads make a difference. That's coming up on ThriftyAV. 7 years ago, when I started shooting and editing in 4K, my old Dell computer couldn't cut it anymore. So instead of buying an off-the-shelf computer, I decided to do my own build and make a series of videos about it. And I went with a Ryzen 5 2600X 6-core, Gigabyte X470 motherboard, 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, a 960 gig M.2 drive, and a GeForce GTX 1060 GPU. Now since then, I have added additional SSDs and hard drives, and I upgraded my GPU to GeForce RTX 3060. But other than that, everything else is the same as it was 7 years ago. Well, my new camera, an HCX20, is capable of not just 4K, it's capable of 4K 60 using the H.265 codec, and that's just much more demanding. And the only things I'm going to be upgrading are the CPU and the cooler. Whenever you upgrade your CPU, you should make sure you have the latest firmware. Now mine has a recent firmware because I recently made it where it was Windows 11 compatible. But there's been one firmware release since then. Okay, I'm about to update the BIOS. Hope this works. The update was successful. To tell if there's a difference between the before and after, I have to do some before benchmarking. And I did that earlier. Let's take a look. Here is the before configuration on my PC, AMD Ryzen 5 2600X. 3.6 gigahertz, 32 gigabyte of RAM running at 2133, 12 gigabyte NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060. This is the total storage of my internal drives. Before I install the new processor, I want to get some before benchmarks using Maxon Cinebench. And even though I'm not changing the GPU, I'm going to go ahead and do a GPU performance test. Not sure exactly what it's doing, but it is definitely drawing a picture on my screen, and the performance test is running. GPU says 34,513 points. Now I'm going to do CPU multiple threads. 1778 points on multiple threads. Let's do a single core. Just so you know, each of these tests lasts 10 minutes. Single core performance was 336 points. Now we're going to do single thread. This test is taking longer than 10 minutes. It's been stuck on finish rendering for a while. When I've finished all these tests, a MP ratio, multi-processor ratio, showed up as 6.72. That's pretty good for 6 cores, but those point numbers aren't very good. All right, I want to do a real-world benchmark, but first I want to make sure that everything's optimized. So I went ahead and this is PowerDirector, and it's doing an optimization for my GPU right now. For my render, I picked H.265 high efficiency video codec. I'm doing a pretty high bit rate there, 4K 60. I do have fast video rendering turned on with hardware video encoder. I have SVRT turned off for a reason. And I'm going to start the render. Now this is an estimate on time elapsed and time remaining. But this is a 1 minute clip, and it looks like it's going to take about 9 minutes to make this video. I'm about halfway done here, and Task Manager shows all 12 threads maxed out. Let's go to the GPU. It's barely using the GPU at all, and it's not using anywhere near my full 32 gigabytes of memory, but it is using up all of my processor to create this file. It says 0 time remaining. Okay. And now the render is over. It took 12 minutes and 28 seconds using this 6-core Ryzen 5. I wanted to stay air-cooled and I wanted to stay on socket AM4 for compatibility of the rest of the stuff. So I chose the Ryzen 9 5900 XT. All right, let's get into this old case here. Oh, it's dusty in there. Before I get flooded with comments, I want to make a quick disclaimer before I go to the next section of this video. There's some best practices that I did not follow when I did this upgrade. Number one, I didn't wear an anti-static wrist strap. That's always a good idea. It prevents static electric shock, but I didn't do it. When cleaning up dust, you should use canned air and a microfiber cloth. I used a vacuum cleaner. That's risky. And finally, when changing the mounts on a cooler and attaching it to a back plate, you should do it with the motherboard out of the case. I left the motherboard in the case. Not the best practice. With that being said, here's the upgrade. What do you think of my cable management here? And check out all the dust. All right, this AMD cooler is secured down with 4 Phillips head screws. So I'm just going to loosen them up. There it goes. Yeah, there's the old thermal paste on there. Unhook that cooler and unseat. And there's the old 2600X with a little mess of thermal compound. I want to make sure that I don't damage these pins because I might use this in a different machine. I couldn't find a piece of foam to put this in, but I found this plastic CPU case here. So that should keep the pins safe until I decide to reuse the CPU. The Ryzen 9 5900 XT is not a power-hungry processor. This cooler would probably still work, but this cooler is now 7 years old. The cooler I bought came in this absolutely huge box here. This thing is gargantuous. Let's open it up. Oh my God, is this even going to fit in my case? Alright, I guess I'll read the instructions on this to make sure I can mount it in this case. These red standoffs say AM4, AM5. Blue one says 1700. So I'm going to be using the AM4, AM5 standoffs to mount this so I can mount the cooler. Now I don't want to do a complete disassembly, so I'm using some precision screwdrivers to line up the holes for the back plate. And I'm going to start with that screw right there, and then I'll be able to get the rest of them done. All right, so I'm going to put this here. And I'm not going to try to line this up perfect. If it's aligned, it should grip. Start it by hand here and pull this side up tight. All this to avoid complete disassembly. I don't know how tight to make this. I'm not going to go wrenching on it. Okay, so one side's in. And I messed up over here. I already see where I messed up. These two pieces are supposed to be concave inward. Alright, it found its thread. Go ahead and tighten that up. I'm not going to wrench it down. I'm just going to make them snug. And that way I didn't have to get behind here and put this on with the motherboard out. Okay, time to get into the processor. This is a whole bunch of empty box. The reason the boxes are this size is because Some processors come with a cooling fan. This one does not. There's the old one, there's the new one. All the pins look straight. Be extra super careful here. And it is seated. So I'm going to go ahead and clamp it down. I have 3 choices for thermal compound. Some Arctic MX4, it's a little bit thinner, easier to spread. Arctic MX6, it has really the best heat exchange. And then this TF7, Thermalright TF7, this came with a cooler. I think I'm going to go with the MX6. With MX6, I'm not going to try to spread it. I just put a pea-sized drop in the center. I didn't have the camera at a good angle, but the cooler mounted with just 2 Phillips screws. Okay, these fan clips are not identical. I'm going to assume that the bigger fan clips go on the bigger fan and the smaller one go on the smaller fan. And the bigger fan goes in the middle of the cooler. Getting the fan clipped on this side was easy. This side's going to be a bit more of a challenge. I'm going to have to get a screwdriver to get that fan clipped to those fins. I went with both of the fan pigtails on this side over here because I'm running a little Y connector anyway. Here is the Y connector, so I'm going to be able to run both those wires into these connectors and get the fans going. Cable management's a mess, but I just want to make sure that these wires don't touch the fan. So I'm going to wire tie them to these wires over here. Everything's plugged in, powered up and running, and even with 2 fans, it's not as noisy as I thought it was going to be. The only change on the system about is the AMD Ryzen 9 5900 XT, and it's actually instead of 3.6 gigahertz, this one is 3.3 gigahertz, but it has so many more cores and threads. I'm going to do all these benchmarks again, starting with the GPU. Here's the scores for all the tests on Maxine's Cinebench. The GPU points went down a little bit, but all the other points went up. Single core points up, single thread points up, multi-threads way up, and multi-thread points are what I need for video rendering. Time for the render test with a new processor. The green indicates that the ghost file has been created, so I can hit produce. I'm going to do the same profile and quality. I'm going to click start. Watch those threads go. Right now utilization is 85%. Look at the time elapsed and the time remaining. I noticed one key difference is that not all of the threads are capped out at 100%. The GPU, like before, is not breaking a sweat. It's really only using 12 gig of my memory right now. Alright, CPU utilization is up to 95%. Okay, time remaining to 1:0. Alright, and now the threads are not so busy. Total time elapsed was 4 minutes and 21 seconds. So the Ryzen 5 took 748 seconds to render the video, and the Ryzen 9 261 seconds. That means the Ryzen 9 is almost 3 times faster than the Ryzen 5 at rendering video. So if you have an aging computer with an AM4 socket and you want to breathe new life into it, I do recommend the AMD Ryzen 9 5900 XT. This thing will do the trick for you. It's going to help me with my render times. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Thank you for watching all the way through this, and remember, stay thrifty, everyone.